Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to show you how to make this filet heart. Now I designed this myself. I actually designed this myself. I'll show you my scribblings that I've got. I've got it all scribbled down, and look at this for a rudimentary. This is absolutely hilarious when we're trying to do this. So I worked it out with 30 stitches to begin. For one block it's 30, but you end up with 29. You end up with 29 stitches. But when you're doing the heart as a blanket, it's sets of 27. It's 27 because you've got 2 here on the end, but you've got one of these treble crochets goes with it, and here you've got one here and one here at this side. So your stitch count is 27, and then you add an extra 4 stitches. If you just want to make one square, just one square, you'll do 30 stitches. 30. You'll work into the 3rd stitch in your foundation chain if you just want to do one. So if you just want to do one square like this, you'll do 30, and you'll work into the 3rd stitch in your foundation chain. But I've done this video as a 4 block blanket. I'm going to show you how to do this whole set of blocks. Now once you've done this treble crochet row at the top, you'll go back in the video to row 2. I've done it as row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and that row is 14 if you're doing it in blocks. But that is the first row of your next section if you're doing this in a big blanket. Try it in one colour as well. It's really pretty in that lilac and the blue. Look at that, it's really pretty. And you see it better when it's down. But anyway, let's go on with this, and I'll show you how to do this. I'm showing you how to do the strip. All you need to do after that is, like I said, is go back to row 2 and continue row 2 up here, up the way. Then you'll do that last row of treble crochet, then you'll go back to row 2 again and repeat it again for as many times as you want. So for your foundation chain, you're going to do sets of 27. So it's 27 stitches for each block, and then we'll add an extra 4. The extra 4 stitches will make the first 2 treble crochets that run up this side, and as you work along you should end up with 2 at the very end of your blanket. So you're going to do sets of 27 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got all my chain done. I've got sets of 4 sets of 27 stitches. So I'm going to add an extra 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3 and 4. We're going to do UK treble crochets. If you're in the USA, this is double crochets for you. But in the UK, these are called treble crochets. We're going to go into the 3rd stitch in the chain, but we're going to turn the chain to the back, and you can see all those little lines that are on the back of the chain. This is what we're going to pick up. It's going to make the bottom of our chain nice and neat. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, turn your chain around, yarn over and go in to that little long part of the stitch. You can see all those little long parts on your chain, and that's where we're going to go in. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. and you'll see that we've made a treble crochet here, and we've got one here. We're going to put one treble crochet into each of those little lines all the way along. One UK treble crochet all the way along. So I've got my chain done, I've got my row 1 done, I've put one treble crochet into every stitch. Now when you turn it over, you can see how nice and flat it's made that bottom by working into the back of the chain. You don't have to, you can just work into the normal part of the stitch. What we're going to do now is we're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now turn your work around. Now this is row 2. You're going to skip that first little space and go into the next stitch, and you're going to put one treble crochet in. This is going to make the edge. Now these 2 treble crochets will run all the way up your blanket. You're going to chain 1, you're going to skip 1 stitch and treble crochet into the next stitch. We're going to make our fillet boxes, the little fillet blocks. So we've done 1, we need 13 along. We need 13 of these little chain 1 spaces. So chain 1, skip 1 stitch and do another treble crochet. So that's has got 2 boxes, 1, 2. Do that until you have 13. Skip 1, treble crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, make sure you're skipping the right, skip 1 and treble crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1 and treble crochet into the next one. We'll do that until we have 13 squares, 13 little fillet boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1, skip 1 and treble crochet into the next one. That's 6. Do that until you've got 13. 7. 'So you can pause the video until you catch up. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need 1 more. Chain 1, skip 1 and treble crochet. Now we're going to put 1 treble crochet into the next stitch. That's going to be the divider for this first block. So yarn over and go into the next stitch. So that's your 2 trebles. They will run all the way up your blanket, and that's what's going to block it off into your squares. So we've got 2 treble crochets, 13 little fillet boxes and 2 treble crochets. Now we're going to do another 13 of the fillet boxes. We're going to do the little chain spaces, whatever you want to call them, a fillet box, just a block, or a chain space. It's up to you what you want to call it. So we're going to do 13 more of these. So chain 1, skip the next stitch and treble crochet into the next stitch. That's you made 1 little fillet block. Chain 1, skip 1 and treble crochet. You're going to do that all the way along. and you should finish with 2 treble crochets. Chain 1 and treble crochet, chain 1, skip 1, treble crochet. Now you're going to do that until you've got 13 again. So you'll do that until you've got 13, then you'll do your 2 treble crochets, then you'll do another 13, and then 2 treble crochets, 13, and you should finish on 2 treble crochets. So you can pause the video if you want and work along your length of blanket. So I've got 1, 2 and 3. I'm going to do 13. So I've done 13 on this one. I'm going to do a treble crochet into the next stitch, and that gives me my next 2 stitches, my 2 trebles together. It'll work up that way. Now I'm going to do another 13 of these fillet blocks. I'll do my 2 trebles together and then another 13. So once you've finished your 13th block, you'll do 1 treble crochet beside it and then start your next 13. And once I get to the end, we should only have 2 stitches left. We should be able to put a treble crochet in here at the end. So it's chain 1, skip 1 and do a treble crochet. And we'll do that all the way along. Once I've done 13, I'll do a treble crochet beside it and then do my last set of 13 fillet blocks. So I've got 1 more block to do. So skip 1, I'm going to treble crochet into that stitch, and I've got the top of that chain to do my last treble crochet. Just go in to the top of that. I don't like this hook very much. I don't have a 3.5 size hook in my tulip crochet hooks for some reason, or if I have, I can't find it. And I don't have a 3.5, or I can't find it, the one of my Knit Pro. So I'm using this. This is one that's just off Amazon, and the point, there is actually, I've just noticed, I'll need to change it. There is practically no point whatsoever on this hook. There's no point on it. There's no point. So push that through there. I think this is just a kind of cheap set that I got to try out. There we go. So I've got my 2 on the end. So I've got 2 treble crochets on this end. We've got 13 fillet spaces, or 2 treble crochets, 13 fillet spaces, 2 treble crochets, 13 fillet spaces, 2 treble crochets, and then 13. So this is going to make quite a wide blanket, and it's going to have the 4 sets of heart blocks on it. Once you've done this first block, all you do is go back to the beginning and you do your next block, and then another one and another one until your blanket is as tall as you want it. But you can do as many sets of 27 stitches as you like. Once you're doing that, it's better to mark it with a marker if you're doing quite a few, so you don't lose count. So that's row 1 done, and row 2. Now row 3, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. At the beginning and at the end, you'll always do 2 treble crochets. So that chain of 3 counts as your first one. So just go in there and do your second one. Now we're going to do 6 fillet spaces. We only need 6. So chain 1 and go into the top of this treble crochet. It's a little bit easier because you can see where you're going. So we've made 1, chain 1 and go into the top of the next one. That's 2. chain 1 into the top of the next one, that's 3, chain 1 into there, that's 4, chain 1 into the next one, that's 5, chain 1, and we'll finish number 6. Now what we're going to do is we need 3 stitches along here, so we're going to put a stitch in, a treble crochet into that chain space. We're going to make the bottom of the heart. We're going to make the bottom point of the heart, and you'll do a treble crochet into the next stitch. And you should have 6 spaces left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we'll do 6 fillet boxes, so chain 1, yarn over and into the top of that treble crochet, that's 1, chain 1 into the top of the next one, 2, into the top, just do your chain 1s and work along. Got a little knot in my yarn there. So we're going to work across to these 2 treble crochets. So chain 1 and into there. Make your little fillet block. So this is number 5. Just count them to check. So you've got your 3 stitches here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more makes 6. And that into there. So you're beside that treble crochet and you're going to do a treble crochet into there, and that's us at the start of the next block, and we're going to do the same. 6 fillet squares, 3 treble crochets, then 6 fillet squares. Then you'll have your 2 treble crochets, then you'll do 6 fillet squares, a treble crochet, a treble crochet and a treble crochet. Then you'll do your 6 fillet squares, so you'll have a treble crochet, do your 6, 3 treble crochets and your 6, and then your 2 at the end. So I'll do one more block with you. So as you can see, that's going to be the point of the heart, and the heart is going to work its way up in here. So it's chain 1, this is the next block. We're going to be working between these 2 trebles and these 2 here, between these 2 and these 2. So chain 1, skip the space and treble crochet. We're going to make 6 fillet blocks. That's 1, that's 2, and you can pause the video at any time to catch up. Chain 1, remember your chain 1s, that's 3, chain 1 into there, that's 4, chain 1 into there, that's 5, chain 1 and into there, and that makes 6. So we'll just count them to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that counts as your little stitch 1 into the next chain space, that's 2, and into the top of this one, that's 3. So you've got your 3 treble crochets together, that's the bottom of the heart. So now we're going to do 6 more blocks, and that'll take us to here. Then you'll do 6, 3 treble crochet, 6, and that'll take you to here. Then you'll do 6 treble crochet, 6 blocks, 3 treble crochet and 6 blocks. So you'll just repeat that, and that's going to give you the bottom of your hearts in each of your boxes. So it's chain 1, so we're doing these 6 blocks over to here. That's 1, chain 1, it's 2, 3, 4, remember your chain 1, that's 5, chain 1 and block 6. So you'll do a treble crochet next to that one, and we'll start the next block. So that's what you've got. So we'll do 6 fillet blocks, 3 treble crochet, 6 fillet blocks, and that'll take you to here. Then you'll do 1 treble crochet, 6 fillet blocks, 3 treble crochets and 6 fillet blocks. It'll take you to here, and you'll do 1 treble crochet. So you do that. If you need to rewind the video, then just rewind the video. Each block is the same. You'll have your 2 treble crochets at the start, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 3 treble crochets and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces and your 2 treble crochet. That's 1 block there, and then just repeat it. 6 spaces, 3 treble crochets and 6 spaces till you get to your little, these are like your little marker points, these ones with the 2 treble crochets. That splits off each section, as you can see. So I'll do that to the end. I've got 6 blocks to make, 3 treble crochet, 6 blocks, and I'll do that till I get to the end. But remember, when you get to your 2 treble crochets, remember and do your treble crochet. So it's chain 1, so into the top of that chain, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work around. So that's row 1, row 2 and row 3. Now row 4, we're going to do 5 of those blocks. We're only going to do 5. This row we done 6. So this next row we're going to do 5. Then we'll do some treble crochets, then 5 fillet blocks. So into the very first treble crochet, we're going to do a treble crochet. You'll always do a treble crochet. So into the top of this treble crochet, we'll do a treble crochet. Always have 2 treble crochets running up the side. I'm going to change this hook. I do not like this hook at all. It's just a non-branded sort of soft hook, but this one for sure, I've got other ones and they're really good, but this small 3.5 has got no point on it whatsoever. There's actually hardly any point on that hook at all. So we're going to do 5 fillet blocks. So chain 1, I'm going to change my hook. I'm going to find another hook. I don't like using that. So I've changed my hook. I've got a Knit Pro Wave Oh, this is a Knit Pro Zing. It's not the Knit Pro Wave. The Knit Pro Wave is much smaller and flatter. I can't believe that this is the only 3.5 other 3.5 inch hook. Now look at the difference in that. Look at the point on that one. It's so much more pronounced than that cheap version. That cheap one, you get what you pay for with them. But these are really good hooks, and this is a nice cool hook. It's quite sort of thinnish for my hands though. I need to go on the hunt. And my other hooks, they must be in project somewhere. Sometimes I'll leave the hook with the project, and I bet that's where they are. You've never seen me have enough crochet hooks, do you? So anyway, we're on 5. That row there we done, it was 6 of the fillet blocks. Now we're only going to do 5. So I've done my treble crochet. I hate changing the hook midway. So into there. Oh, so much better already. So that's 1. Chain 1. That's got 1 fillet block. That's 2. This is a bit thin, this hook. Chain 1. That's 3. Chain 1. Go to the next stitch. It's 4. Chain 1 and 5. So this time we're going to do 7 treble crochets across here. That is stitch 1. That's stitch 1. You'll do 1 in there is 2, 1 in top here is 3, 4, 5, 1 into the space is 6, and 1 up there is 7. So that's going to count as stitch 1. So yarn over and into the space, that's 2. Yarn over into the top of that treble crochet, 3. We're building the body of the heart, 4. 1 into the next stitch, that's 5. 1 into the chain space is 6, and 1 into the next stitch is 7. So that's you built the next part. So if you can see those little 3 1 is the bottom of your heart, and this is going to make it go up and around. So we should have 5 blocks left. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you're going to chain 1 and into the top of your treble crochet. That's 1 block made. Chain 1, go into the next stitch. That's 2. Chain 1. That's 3. Chain 1. That's 4. Chain 1. And that's 5. So we'll do a treble crochet, because in between the blocks we've got our 2 treble crochets that split the blocks up, and that's that part done. Now that'll become more prominent as we work up the block. So you're going to do 5 fillet blocks, 7 treble crochets across there, then 5 fillet blocks to here. Then you'll do your 1 treble crochet there, 5 fillet blocks, 7 treble crochets, 5 fillet blocks, then you'll do that 1 that's there. You'll do your 5 blocks, 7 treble crochets and your 5 blocks, and finish with a treble crochet on the end. So I found my Knit Pro hook, which I'm so much more pleased. I've got so used to using these. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3 and turn my work around. So we've done row 1, we've done row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. We're now on row 5. So here we've done 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. The next row we're only going to do 4 blocks, and then we should have 11 treble crochets. Then 4 blocks, and you'll do your normal little treble crochet here, 4 fillet blocks, 11 treble crochets, 11, 4 blocks, and you'll do that all the way along. So to begin with, you go into your treble crochet as normal. It makes your edge, chain 1, and we're only going to do 4 of the fillet blocks this time. That's 1, chain 1, and into the next one. That's 2, chain 1, skip that space, and into that treble crochet. That's 3, chain 1, skip that one, and into there. Now that becomes stitch 1, and we're going to do 11 along. Stitch 1 and into that chain space, stitch 2, into the top of all of these ones. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now into the treble crochet space, that's 10, and into the top of that treble crochet, that's 11. Now we've got 4 blocks across till we get to our divider. Chain 1, that's 1, chain 1 to the next one, that's 2, chain 1, skip that space, that's your third fillet block, chain 1, and it brings you over to these dividing posts. So put 1 in there, and we'll do the same again. Now you're just going to repeat the same as you've done for here. 4 fillet blocks, 11 treble crochets, and 4 fillet blocks. So you'll do that here. Just do 4 fillet blocks, 11 treble crochets, 4 fillet blocks. It'll bring you to this dividing double crochet part. You'll put 1 treble crochet in there, 4 fillet blocks, 11 treble crochets, your 4 fillet blocks. It'll bring it to your next section. Your 1 treble crochet in here, 4 fillet blocks, 11 treble crochets, and 4 fillet blocks, and you'll have 1 treble crochet to do on the end. We'll get that done. You take your time, pause the video, rewind it if you need to see what it is that you're going to do again. So here we're going to do 4 fillet blocks, 11 treble crochets, and 4 fillet blocks, and then do a treble crochet in that 1 stitch there, and then do your next block. Your blocks are going from this treble crochet to this treble crochet here. This is your block, and then when you go to this one, it's from here to the end. So I've just got my treble crochet to do on the top of here. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So row 6, you're going to turn your work. So row 6, you're going to do 3 fillet blocks. Then you're going to do 15 treble crochets. That's 15 treble crochets. Then 3 fillet blocks. 1, 2, 3. That will take you to here. You do your treble crochet, 3 fillet blocks, 15 treble crochets, and your 3 fillet blocks will take you to here. Do your treble crochet there, and then do your next one. 3 blocks, 15 treble crochets, and 3 blocks, and you'll do that to the end. So for this row, this is row 6. Do your treble crochet, chain 1, and then do your treble crochet in the top of that one. So that's 1 block, chain 1, so we're doing our next fillet block. That's 2 fillet spaces, chain 1, skip that part, and that's our 3. That's your 3 fillet blocks done. 1, 2, 3, and these two go together. That's not a block. So you've got 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do 15 treble crochets. That's count that as your first stitch. You must count that one as your first stitch. That's 1. So 1 into this space. That's 2. Now you go right across here. You're going to count 15. 1, 2, 3. 1 into the top of each stitch. 4. Hook's got 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 1 into the space. It's 14, and 1 into the top of there is 15. Then we'll do our 3 fillet blocks and 1 treble crochet here. So chain 1, skip that space, and treble crochet into the top of that one. That's you made 1 block. Over here, next one, that's 2. Chain 1, and we're up beside our 2 treble crochets here. That's your 3rd block of that section. So you can see the heart starting to take shape. And like I said, don't worry, it'll all straighten out. So you're going to chain treble 1 treble crochet into the top of here. And that's us starting the next block along. So we're going to do 3 fillet blocks, 15 treble crochets, 3 fillet blocks. Then do your treble crochet here. 3 fillet blocks, 15 treble crochets, then your 3 fillet blocks all the way along. Make sure that when you start your 15, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Remember that when you finish that fillet block there, that is stitch 1. Count that as stitch 1 and then work 15 along. So you'll do your 3 fillet blocks, chain 1, treble crochet into that treble crochet, chain 1, so that's 1 made, That's 2 made and 3. So you've made your 3 fillet blocks, but count that as stitch 1 of your 15. So that's stitch 1 into there, that's 2, then into the top of the next one, that's 3, and do that along till you've got 15. Now you've got to count that post of that last block as your stitch 1. If you don't, you'll end up with 16 stitches and you only want 15. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's row 6 done. I've got row 6 done, and you can see the way this is working out. These are the treble crochets that will split each of your boxes up. Don't worry about this one looking up a little bit. It's just the way I've been holding it. It will straighten up, and we will neaten up the edge. We'll put up the sides, we'll put a row of treble crochets up the sides of your blanket. And look at this, you can see the little heart starting to show through. It's just a pity that wasn't yellow too to make that, but it is a multicoloured one. You can use one single colour and it'll be much more noticeable, I think, if you do it with one single colour. But anyway, so that's row 6 done. We're going on to row 7. Now row 7 and row 8 are the same. So row 7 and row 8, you'll do both of these rows the same. So you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3 and turn. So this row you'll do it twice, so that'll make up row 7 and row 8. So as usual, we're going to do a treble crochet into that first one here. Remember, don't go into that one, you're going into that one there. And at any time you need, you just pause the video and you can catch up. So in that row we did 3 boxes, now we're only going to do 2. So row 7 and row 8 will be the same. I can't keep saying that enough, because if you skip one of them out, your heart's going to be too short. So you're going to do 2 boxes now here. We're going to do 2 of the fillet boxes. And I got a little comment saying that it's not fillet, it's fillet. You say it fillet. But in Scotland, we say fillet. Even my mum said fillet, and that's, you're going back like 50 or 60 years now. And my gran. But anyway, into there we've done our chain 1. And do your first box. Chain 1, and we're going to do our next fillet box. There you go. Now we're going to do 19 treble crochets. That last one was 15 treble crochets. Now we're going to do 19 treble crochets across, and then you'll have 2 fillet boxes to make. Then you'll do your little treble crochet to start your next set. It'll be 2 of the fillet boxes, 19 treble crochets, 2 fillet boxes, then your little treble crochet to start your next set. Just as you're going along, 2, 19, 2, then you'll do your 2 treble crochets, your 19, and your 2 fillet boxes on the end, and 1 treble crochet. Just remember that when you get to these 2 treble crochets together, that's your border between your 2 sections, between this one and that one. So row 7 and row 8 are the same. So we've done 2 of our fillet boxes, and we're going to do 19 treble crochets. So into the space, but remember that stitch is number 1. Always count that as your first stitch. That's number 1. 2. I'm going to do 19. 3, 4. So I'm at number 17. I'm going to do 1 into the chain space. That's 18, and 1 into the top of that treble. That's 19. Chain 1, and we're going to do our 2 fillet boxes, or filet. 1, chain 1, and 1 into there. Then we've got a treble crochet that starts the next section. And there. And you're just going to repeat that for each section that you've got in your blanket. So it'll be 2 of the filet boxes, then 19 treble crochets. We've got 19 treble crochets. You're going to do 2 rows of that. You're going to do all this row, chain 3 and turn and do it all again. You'll do your 2 filet boxes, 19 treble crochets, and your 2 filet boxes for each section. So on here we're doing our little boxes. That's 1, chain 1, and into the top of that treble crochet, and that's you got your 2. So that's stitch 1. So into that space for stitch 2, and we're going to do 19, and I'm going to work my way along. So you pause the video and you do your sections, your 2 filet boxes, your 19 treble crochets, your 2 filet boxes. You'll have your 1 little treble crochet that keeps them separated, your 2 filet boxes. It sounds like I'm saying silly boxes, doesn't it? You'll do your 19 treble crochets, then your 2 boxes. Remember that 1, I keep saying that, just remember that 1 that's there where it splits your sections off. You can clearly see it here. So you'll do all that row, chain 3, turn and do that row again. So you'll do your treble crochet, your 2 filet boxes, 19 treble crochets, your 2 boxes and your little treble there, and then do your next section for however wide your blanket is. So if you pause the video, do these 2 rows, and I'll do my 2, and I'll come back and show you what it's like. So we've got a chain of 3 and our 1 treble, and we're going to do 2 filet boxes. I'm going to do 2 of the boxes, so chain 1 and do your first one, chain 1 and do your second filet box. Really sounds as if I'm saying silly box. So we're going to do 9 treble crochets, and that counts as your first one. That's number 1. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now make sure you count that as stitch 1 when you've done that second box. Make sure you count that as stitch 1 or it won't work out. You chain 1, skip 1 stitch and do a treble crochet. So we're going to make a little filet box in the middle. Now that's going to start splitting your heart up into those 2 bumpy parts. So that's stitch 1, and we're going to count 9 along. So that's stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And we're going to do our 2 fillet boxes. So chain 1, do your first box, chain 1, and you're skipping the space and working into the treble crochets. And then we'll do that treble crochet of the next section. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, you can just do this one section. You can just do with your 2 treble crochets and do that one section and do them all different colours and then stitch them together like granny squares. So you can see now that that little heart is going to come from here, and we're going to go up and around, and then up over the next 2 rows we'll go up, and it'll make that little heart shape like that. So we're moving to the next section. 2 boxes, 9 treble crochets, 1 box, 9 treble crochets, and then your 2 fillet boxes. You'll do your 1 treble to start your next section, if you've got a next section. 2 boxes, do 9 treble crochets, then you'll chain 1, skip 1, you'll make a little box in the middle, 9 treble crochets, and then your 2 boxes, and work your way along. But remember, when you've done your first, remember when you start your 9 treble crochets, that's stitch 1. So the one when you've done 1 box, your second box, and that is counted as stitch 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And then you'll do your chain 1, skip a stitch to make your box in the middle, to split your heart up into the 2 parts. So I'm going to work my way along. So I'm doing a chain 1, I'm going to work into the top of a treble crochet. So that's my first box made, and into there, and that's my second box made. Now that is stitch 1 of my 9 stitches, so that's stitch 1. And then you're going to do, that's stitch 2, we need 9 treble crochets, that's number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and number 9. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and do 9 more treble crochets along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Chain 1, and we're going to do, make a box, chain 1, skip that one and do your next box, then do your treble crochet to start your next section, and then we'll go on to the next heart, and I'll do that with my next two sections, and this is what they'll look like. Now I will measure this. This is a good 30 inches. Just these 4 boxes makes a good size, and you can see the little heart shape starting to split open in the middle, and then we'll have just a couple of rows left to do the heart here. So I'll finish my row and I'll come back and tell you row 10. So when we do row 9 and row 10 are the same. Row 7 and row 8 are the same, and row 9 and row 10 are the same. So I've done my 3 treble crochets, and I'm going to turn my work around, and I've done my 2 boxes, my 9 treble crochets, 1 box in the middle, and then another 9, and then my 2 boxes at the end. So we're going to repeat this round. So my first stitch is my treble crochet here. I'm going to do my 2 boxes, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1, skip the space, treble crochet. Now that counts as stitch 1, so we're going along here to do 9, so that's stitch 1. So we're just repeating row 9 and row 10 are the same. That's number 8 and number 9. Chain 1, skip that space and do a treble crochet, and that is stitch 1, and we'll work along till we've got 9. So that's stitch 1, 2, 1 treble into each stitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Chain 1, and we're going to do a box, chain 1, treble crochet into the next treble crochet. So I'm moving on to the next section. So I'm doing my treble crochet to start my next section. I'll do my 2 boxes, 9 treble crochets, chain 1, skip the space, 9 treble crochets, and my 2 filet boxes. You'll treble crochet here and start your next section all the way to the end. So once I've done that, I'll come back and show you the next row. So you can see the heart taking shape. So we've got row 9 and row 10 done. So we're going to do row 11, and you can write this down like I've said already. So you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work, so we're going to do the 2 boxes. We're going to do a treble crochet first to start a section, you're going to do your 2 boxes, so chain 1 and go on top of that treble crochet, chain 1 and go onto the top of this one, now that is stitch 1 and we're going to do 8 treble crochets along. That's stitch 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to make 3 boxes across the middle, so chain 1, skip that stitch and go into that chain space. That's 1 box made. Chain 1, skip that stitch and go into your next treble crochet. We're making 2 boxes, sorry, we're not making 3, we're making 2. So we've got 2 boxes made here. Now that counts as your first stitch. We're going to do 8 across here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to do our 2 boxes, so chain 1 and treble crochet into the top of that treble crochet, chain 1 and treble crochet into there. That makes your second box, and we're going to start the next section. So we'll do our treble crochet to start that section there. That splits off your 2 sections, and this is how it's looking. So we've got 1 more row to do of the heart, and it's going to bring it in and finish that top part. So what you're going to do is your 2 boxes, you're going to do 8 treble crochets, you'll do 2 boxes across this section, 8 treble crochets and your 2 boxes, and then start your next section. If you need to write that down, just rewind the video so you've done your 2 boxes. That will straighten out this one on the end. It's just the way we've been holding on to it. You do your 2 boxes, you've got your 2 treble crochets, you've got your chain of 3 here and your treble crochet. You've got your 2 boxes, then you're going to do 8 treble crochets, 2 boxes, 8 treble crochets, 2 boxes. You'll do that 1 treble crochet there to start your next section. In your next section, 2 boxes, 8 treble crochets, but we'll be doing 2 boxes here, 8 treble crochets and your 2 boxes. And feel free to write it all down. Write down each row, and you can shorten it by saying your 2 treble crochets, then your 1, 2, 3, count your boxes and write that down. And then you can do row 2 is your 2 treble crochets, then your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes, 3 treble crochets and 6 boxes. And then you can do your 2 treble crochets, then it's 5 boxes, then it's 7, then 5, and just write it down as I've said it. And as you can see, once your blanket, if you're seeing it from a distance, you will see that little, once we get that round part there on, it's going to look like a heart. I'll come back down. So I've got my 2 boxes, so chain 1, I need to do my 2 boxes, chain 1 and do your next one. So that counts as stitch 1, and we're doing 8. That's 1, 2, oops, got that spot in there, 3, 4, 5, oops, 6, 7 and 8. Oops, okay, cool. Chain 1, we're going to do 2 boxes across. You're going to skip that stitch and go into the chain space, do a treble crochet, chain 1, skip that treble crochet and do a treble crochet into the next one, and that's you made 2 boxes. So that's you made 2 boxes, and that stitch is stitch 1, and we're going to do 8. So stitch 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Chain 1, and we're going to do our 2 boxes to finish this block. Chain 1, treble crochet, and then we'll treble crochet into this stitch to start the next block. And this is what you've got. You've got your little heart, and you can see that your little heart is going in and around. So I'll finish this row. This is row 11. I'll finish row 11 and I'll show you row 12, and row 12 will be the last part of the heart on there. So we've done row 11 and I'll come back and show you row 12. So that's row 11 finished, and we're going to do row 12. So going to chain 3, we're going to chain 3, so that's 1, 2 and 3, and turn your work. So we're going to do 3 boxes, 5 treble crochets, 3 boxes, 5 treble crochets along here, and then 3, you have your 3 boxes at the end. So we'll treble crochet into the next stitch. I'm going to chain 1, skip the space and treble crochet into the next stitch. That's 1 box made. Chain 1, skip that chain space. That's your second box made. Chain 1, skip the next stitch and treble crochet into the next stitch. So that's stitch 1. That's 1. We need 5 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. and we're going to make 3 boxes across here. So chain 1, skip that stitch and do a treble crochet into the chain space. Chain 1, skip that stitch and treble crochet into that chain space. Chain 1, skip that stitch and treble crochet into the next one. And that's stitch 1. We need 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we're going to make 3 boxes along, chain 1, skip 1 and treble crochet into the next box, into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip the chain space and do a treble crochet. Chain 1, skip that one and do your treble crochet. And that's that block finished. So your little heart comes up and goes down. So we'll treble crochet into the next one. Let's start in the next block. Then you'll make 3 blocks, 5 treble crochets, 3 blocks, 5 treble crochets and 3 of your fillet or fillet squares, your blocks, and you'll do that all the way along. So it's chain 1, we've made the first fillet block, that's your second one, chain 1, now skip a stitch and do your third one. Now that counts as stitch 1. We're going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I'm going to chain 1, skip that one and do your treble crochet into the chain space. Chain 1, skip that treble crochet and treble crochet into this chain space. Chain 1, skip that stitch, and this will make your third fillet block. So you've got your 3 little boxes. So that counts as stitch 1. We're going to do 5. So that's stitch 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we're going to do 3 fillet blocks. Chain 1, skip that stitch and treble crochet into that one. Chain 1, skip the chain space, do your treble crochet, chain 1, skip your chain space and do your treble crochet, then treble crochet in to the next one, and that's going to start your next block. And you'll do the same, 3 blocks, 5 treble crochets, 3 blocks, 5 treble crochets and 3 blocks all the way to the end. And this is how your little heart is looking now. If you move up a bit you see it much better. It's your little fillet heart. I'm quite pleased, it's my first one that I've done. So I'll finish that row, and that's row 12. We'll finish row 12, and then what we're going to do is we're going to repeat this fillet block row here and then our treble crochet row, and that'll be that first pattern block of your blanket finished. So we've only got 2 rows left. We've got row 13 and row 14 left. So what we're going to do is I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn my work around. I'm going to do my treble crochet as normal into here to start my block. Now we're going to do 1 full row of filet boxes. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work around. Treble crochet into the top of this next stitch. So this is row 13. We're going to do 13 of the filet boxes all the way along. Bring the camera down a little bit. So chain 1, skip the chain space and do your first filet block, your little box. Chain 1, skip the chain space, so that's 2. Chain 1, skip that chain space, do your treble crochet, chain 1, so we've got 1, 2, 3, skip that stitch and do a treble crochet, that's 4, chain 1, skip that stitch, that's 5, chain 1, skip the chain space, that's 6, chain 1, skip the chain space, 7, chain 1, skip that chain space, it's 8, chain 1, skip the stitch and treble crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip that stitch and treble crochet into that stitch, chain 1, we're going all the way along. We're not going all the way along, we're going to our 2 treble. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This one's number 12. Chain 1 and do our last one, skip the chain space, and that's 13. So you'll just do the same along your blanket. You do your treble crochet to start your little block there, and remember these 2 treble crochets split your sections up. So we're going to do 13 fillet blocks along. So we're going to do 13 of our little boxes along. We'll do our 2 treble crochet, 13 the filet blocks along, 2 treble crochets and 13 along, and you'll finish with your 2 treble crochets. So now that we've got those fillet blocks, you've got 13, your 2 treble crochets, 13, 2 treble crochets and 13, it stands out a lot better. The last row is, what you're going to do is, you're going to go back to row 1. We're going to go all the way back to row 1, because if you're going to continue, you can make this like a big long scarf and just do the 1 heart in a big long scarf. But if you're going to do this as a blanket and repeat the pattern, you're going to go back to row 1 and you're going to do a row of full treble crochets all the way along. And then you'll do row 2, row 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and that row 13. And then you'll do a treble crochet row. I'm going to do this treble crochet row. 1, 2, 3. Just turn your work around. It will really make the hearts stand out. So a treble crochet into there, 1 into the chain space, 1 into the next treble crochet, all the way along, one into the chain space, one into the treble crochet, one into that chain space, and one into your treble crochet. You're going to do that all the way along, and that's going to finish off that whole section. So this is the hearts finished, the little fillet heart blanket. Look at that, it's so pretty, it is so pretty. So what you'll do now is, that it will be okay, that, just because I've been squeezing it with my hands. So what you'll do now is you'll just repeat from row 2. That's row 1. Row 1 finishes all of these ones. If you're just doing a big long scarf, like I said, then that's row 14. But if you're doing this as a blanket, and look how pretty these hearts are, just go back to row 2, rewind the video to row 2, and then follow along again, and keep repeating that until your blanket's as big as you want it. Mine says 4 blocks wide. It's 4 blocks wide, and I'm going to do it 1, 2, 3, maybe 6, 5 or 6 high, maybe 5. I'm just doing it for a car seat cover, and it's going to take me a little while. That's why I've just showed you the 1 block. Then all you'll do is just repeat, like I've said again, just repeat from row 2, rewind the video, go from row 2. So I'll show you just how to quickly just neaten off your edges. I'm going to just slip stitch in to that last treble crochet I did, slip stitch in there, and I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and that's your first treble crochet. So into the same space I'm going to do a treble crochet. Now into the next space I'm going to do a treble crochet in there, and another. We're just going to put 2 treble crochets into each of these stitches that are down the side, just 2 into each section all the way down, and that should give you a nice neat edge all the way down your blanket, and that'll give you a neat edge, as you can see, down your blanket like that. I'm only going to do down the sides once I've got this big enough, that is. I'm going to take that back out, so I'll just put 2 in. If you've got your blanket, you can do this as a scarf. I like the idea of doing a whole load of these blocks for a scarf. Got a little catch there. So down on the very bottom I'm going to put 2 into that very first treble crochet like that, and that's where I'll finish it. I'll just cut that off and leave down the side, and that way you'll have 1 row of treble crochets on the bottom and 1 on the top. You'll finish it on a row of treble crochets, and when you do your treble crochets on the side, putting 2 in each side makes it nice and neat like that. That's what you'll do for your blanket. You can do this in long sections like this, and then maybe do a different colour, do a different colourway. You can add it, just stitch it in, and then do another section and another section. But that is how you do this really pretty filet heart. And I hope you like it. It's my very first little design that I've done on my own. I think it's really pretty. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you click on the bell icon, YouTube will tell you when I put up another tutorial. So until the next time, happy crafting, and I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.